Now on Nightside, a man who was shot at the gorge tells his harrowing story of escape.
Summer officially starts this week, but it doesn't feel like it. More cool, showery weather on the way in your First Alert forecast.
Rescue crews are racing against time as they desperately search for a missing tourist submarine with 5 people inside. It disappeared on its way to the wreck of the Titanic. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Thanks for staying up with us. I'm Aaron Luna.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. A deadly shooting just outside the gorge Saturday killed 2 people and injured 3 others, including the shooter.
More than 48 hours since that shooting, we still don't have a motive or the identity of the suspect. On Saturday, a shooter opened fire on several people just before 8:30, killing 2 of them and injuring 2 others in the campground, which is right next to the music festival. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the suspect walked away from the shooting scene and began firing randomly into the crowd before he was taken into custody by police. The people at the concert weren't aware that a shooting had happened. Many received texts from friends and family asking if they were okay.
Opened my phone and a bunch of texts were pouring in, people telling us that there was an active shooter, checking in if we were okay.
The people in front of me started getting texts from their family with screenshots of the alert that had actually happened, but we never actually got the alert from the venue. It wasn't until like the next morning that I got the email.
One victim, August Morningstar, father of 2, is sharing his harrowing escape from the deadly shooting at the gorge. New on Nightside, Michelle Esteban reports.
I just walked into something that I had nothing to do with, and so I turned around.
But August Morningstar says it was too late. The perceived damage was done. The father of 2 from Eugene, Oregon, out for his first concert in a decade, says the gunman shot him once and then came for more.
I think before he saw me, he killed someone, and I think he thought I saw what happened. And so I guess he wanted to get rid of any witnesses.
Police say the shooter shot 4 people in the gorge campground Saturday night. 2 of them died. August says his daughters.
I don't want my daughters to grow up without a dad. So I ran, and I ran, and I ran some more.
And his buddy's tent saved his life.
If that tent wasn't there, I would have been in the line of sight for him, and I would have been probably dead right now.
All he remembers is what he heard.
Don't do this. You don't got to do this. 2 seconds afterwards, the person pops out.
And all he'll choose to remember is this.
I'm happy to be alive and blessed.
Shot in the shoulder, a piece of it shattered. Doctors told him it just missed his carotid artery and left lung. This jewelry maker is worried he may not regain full use of his hand. And he now has something to say about security that night.
If this can happen once, it can happen again if they don't do their jobs right.
But it won't stop him from going back. Music makes him happy.
Don't let that ruin all other potential fun events that you can go to. It's just one bad event. Next one can definitely and most likely will be way better.
We pivot now to the quadruple homicide that happened in Kellogg, Idaho over the weekend. The Idaho State Police have confirmed the man accused of killing 4 people was the victim's neighbor and is being held on probable cause for murder. They have not released the suspect's name or the names of the victims. One woman says she worked with one of the victims at a nearby nursing home.
I heard who it was. I felt sick to my stomach, like I started crying. I was like, I had a hard time sleeping last night. I mean, it just like is getting to me. And
Idaho State Police say they will release the suspect's name at his first court appearance, which is taking place tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. 4 News Now will have a crew in the courtroom, and we will bring you the latest on air and online at KXLY.com. Those were just 2 of multiple mass shootings that took place across the country over the weekend. In Illinois, 1 person was killed and at least 22 others were hurt during a Juneteenth celebration.
I heard the shoot come from behind us, so we dropped down.
It's kind of becoming something where it's like inescapable.
Yesterday alone, there were 7 mass shootings in the U.S. That's according to the Gun Violence Archive. In St. Louis, Missouri, a 17-year-old was killed, 9 other teenagers injured when a gunman opened fire at a party inside an office building. The Gun Violence Archive defines a mass shooting as at least 4 people shot, not including the shooter.
We are just 2 days away from the first day of summer.
That's right, but you wouldn't know it with the chilly weather that we've had I shouldn't say this on TV. My husband turned on the heat yesterday.
Come on.
We do have a baby. We have a toddler, so
yeah.
I think he was thinking
Blame it on
her.
the tot.
Right, Chris?
He just wanted to get all warm and snuggly.
I had the seat heaters on in the car tonight. It is chilly. Here's a look at our current temperatures right now. 53 in Spokane, 50 in Coeur d'Alene. We're already deep into the 40s. In Sandpoint, it's 49 at St. Mary's and 45 in Pullman, 56. Presently in Lewiston, overnight lows tonight will be dropping into the 40s and even the 30s in Pullman, 39 tonight in Pullman. And some of those spots may be a little bit cooler, especially at the current trajectory. 41 for an overnight low in Deer Park and 40 in Spirit Lake, as well as Spangle, 44 in Post Falls, as well as in Spokane. Meanwhile, let's take a look at our satellite and radar. We still have a few areas of very light rain in progress, and that will be the case overnight and into tomorrow as well. We had a very brief thunderstorm in parts of Spokane and Liberty Lake earlier this evening in the 8 o'clock hour that put down some pretty good size hail. Otherwise, we're just dealing with some showers. Tomorrow, a high of 60 degrees, 74 is our average high, with the chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon, although a sprinkle cannot be ruled out throughout the day. Very unsettled, cool and breezy Tuesday. I'll be back to tell you about a warming trend in the 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
One of the struggles so far this season for the Seattle Mariners has been their inability to stay healthy on the mound. But because of that, we may have been introduced to a future star in the form of rookie pitcher Bryce Miller. On Sunday, Miller had his best outing of his professional career, going 7 strong innings, only giving up a single run on 4 hits and striking out 6 as the Mariners went on to take the series finale against the White Sox 5-1. After the game, the manager Scott Service heaped some praise on his young ace for not letting the moment get too big for him.
You know, younger pitchers going back out for the 7th inning. And it's not so much about pitch count. Everybody stares at that clock. It's how the stuff is and how they're reacting. And I've talked to a few of our young guys about when you're getting to the end of the point of the game and you know you can see the finish line, empty the tank, let it all out. And that's what he did. And he executed great in the 7th inning. Huge inning for us. Like I said, our bullpen was a little light today and was hoping to stay away from a few guys down there. So credit to him. Just a fantastic outing.
Seattle will now travel out east for a second time in a month as they're going to open up a series against the New York Yankees on Tuesday night. And in their previous series earlier this season, it was the Yankees that absolutely hammered the M's as they outscored them 20-7 in 3 games. Reporting in studio, I'm Alex Crescenti for News Now Sports.
New on Nightside, now to the Battle of the Beers. The Wall Street Journal reporting Modelo has overtaken Bud Light as America's top beer.
ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has the story.
This morning, America has a new favorite beer, and it's a Mexican import.
This is the mark of a fighter.
Modelo Especial, besting America's former #1 Bud Light as the top-selling brew with 8.4% of retail sales in May. Bud Light, the leader for over 2 decades, falling behind with 7.3% of sales.
There are a number of factors that have contributed to Modelo's rise. One of them is shifting demographics, the growth of the Hispanic demographic in the United States, both in numbers and in purchasing power. The thing that sort of tipped it over the edge was this boycott of the Bud Light brand.
Bud Light's toppling on the heels of mounting customer backlash and declining sales following the brand's partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney this spring.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right? I got some Bud Lights for us.
Conservative calls for a boycott of the beer coming soon after. Celebrities like Kid Rock attacking the brand, demolishing a table of Bud Lights. At the time, Anheuser-Busch seemingly attempting to calm tensions, issuing a statement saying it never intended to be part of a discussion that divides people. We're in the business of bringing people together over a beer. Garth Brooks responding to the backlash, announcing no beer would be off limits at his new Nashville bar, adding, if you come into this house, love one another. But some bars supporting the LGBTQ community felt betrayed and joined the boycott.
There were supporters of LGBT rights who were disappointed that the company didn't come out and sort of reiterate its support for those groups. There were many folks who were upset that the company didn't distance itself more from this Instagram post. So yeah, in the end, pretty much everyone was mad at Bud Light.
And late last week, the company issuing a new statement promising valued customers, "We hear you," and summer advertising that reinforces what you've always loved about our brand, that it's easy to drink and easy to enjoy.
Coming up, how to help your kids avoid learning loss over the summer break.
Rescue crews are still desperately searching for a missing tourist submarine with 5 people inside, looking for the wreckage of the Titanic.
And you'll need to plan ahead for your time at the swimming pool, how to make sure you and your kids get a spot. That's next on Nightside.
Track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mainstream Electric Heating, Cooling, Plumbing.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
No, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXOY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
When you carefully strap down your toys, or play it safe on moving day, or listen to that inner voice that says, this really needs a cover, you're doing your part to help everyone on Washington's roads get home safely. So, keep the supplies you need handy, secure your cargo properly, and ask others to do the same. Secure your load for safer roads. Learn the ropes at secureloadswa.org.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups, or get $4,250 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Here's the latest expansion news from Spokane Tribe Casino. Check out the expanded Caesars Sportsbook, now the largest in the area. With even more room, more betting options than before, and a buddy bar with bar top games. Plus, be on the lookout for the all-new smoke-free gaming area, also coming soon.
Cool off with a win. You've got a chance to take home a cooler filled with up to $5,000, only at Spokane Tribe Casino. You just win here.
4 News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsurer.com.
New on Nightside, school is out for the summer, but there's a downside to summer vacation. Summer learning loss. A 2020 study found that students lost, on average, between 17 to 28% of their school year gains in reading and between 25 to 34% of math gains during summertime. But experts say there are many ways to help kids hang on to learning.
The summertime, you can give them a loose schedule so that they don't lose touch with structure. It's important for kids to continue practicing managing their own time.
Plus, a new crop of educational games can not only stave off learning loss, but supplement reading challenges, as national data on proficiency show kids are falling behind.
I think it helps to look at our kids' learning skills as a set of muscles. If your child needs math practice, figure out creative ways that they can do math. Maybe it's by cooking.
Some other things you could try are making your own flashcards, using them on car rides or hikes, and getting your child a library card. We'll take a look at this video of what looks like a seemingly endless lightning storm over Pensacola, Florida. The person who shot the video called it one of the most incredible things they'd ever seen.
And those electrifying moments were nothing compared to video captured in the middle of the storm of an unbelievable water rescue in Pensacola as a responding deputy arrived to help trapped people in their cars during rising floodwaters. You see the video goes black, and that's because the deputy and another man were suddenly sucked underwater. The pair were swept through a drainage pipe, traveling for roughly 30 seconds underneath a 4-lane highway before reemerging unhurt 100 feet on the other side. Wow.
Amazing pictures. Well, we've been talking a lot about the first day of summer. The summer solstice is Wednesday at 7:57 in the morning. And then we're ready for the warm weather. Chance of showers tonight, 44 degrees for an overnight low. Tomorrow, a high of just 60. Showers possible, as well as some isolated thunderstorms, mainly in the higher terrain of northeast Washington and north Idaho. It is going to be a breezy day today, too, making it feel even cooler. I think about those kids out at the swimming lessons. If you got that first session, they're going to need some serious towels. Tuesday's high temperatures will be in the 60-degree range, not only for Spokane, but Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, 62 in Pullman and Ritzville, and 62 in Grand Coulee. Upper level trough, keeping things cool and unsettled for tomorrow, and I think it is going to continue into Wednesday as well. Forecast radar starting off at our current time will keep at least a slight chance of showers going overnight. Here's 8 a.m. with some heavier rain in North Idaho and lighter rain through the Northeast Mountains and the Okanagan area. 5 o'clock in the evening, some isolated thunderstorms possible, hit and miss showers right on through 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Our chance of precipitation tomorrow is not particularly high at any one time, a little bit higher in the late morning and early afternoon, but at least a chance of those showers. And I've added a chance of showers to Wednesday as well, a 20% chance based on some new things I'm seeing in the computer models. That is the first day of summer, and we have a warming trend and mostly dry as well. Possibility of some mountain showers, but I think Hoop Fest weekend is looking especially nice. I will be back with your 8 to 14 day outlook in just a few minutes, Aaron.
Thank you, Chris. Well, the search continues for the Titanic tourist sub that went missing yesterday morning. The U.S. Coast Guard working closely with Canadian officials to find the vessel with 5 people inside.
Yeah, ABC's Melissa Adon has the latest on this investigation, plus what we're learning about one of the passengers.
A race against time. The U.S. and Canadian Coast Guard searching for a small submarine that went missing during a tourist expedition to the Titanic.
We're doing everything that we can do to locate the submersible.
The Coast Guard says the submersible disappeared during an expedition from St. John's, Newfoundland, Canada, about 900 miles east of Cape Cod, to explore the infamous 1912 wreck in the North Atlantic Ocean. The vessel was deployed from a ship, and officials say an hour and 45 minutes into the dive, the ship lost contact with the sub and alerted the Coast Guard.
If they're not on the surface, it's a very hard problem because now they're 2 miles underwater. And even if we could locate them, we got to get to them.
According to the operator, Ocean Gate Expeditions, the submersible can hold 5 people, including the pilot, travel to a depth of more than 13,000 feet, and has enough oxygen for 96 hours. Its website advertises a voyage to the Titanic for $250,000 per person. ABC News learning one of the missing passengers is British billionaire Hamish Harding. His company confirming Harding was on board, posting on Facebook hours before dive, "A weather window has just opened up and we are going to attempt a dive tomorrow. More expedition updates to follow if the weather holds." The company Ocean Gate Expedition says our entire focus is on the crew members in the submersible and their families. We are working toward the safe return. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
New on Nightside, the beach is a great place to relax, especially in the summer, but swimming in any body of water can be risky. Officials say keep the following safety tips in mind when you're getting in the water. Number 1, only swim when a lifeguard is present and monitor your area. Number 2, don't swim alone. Have at least one swimming buddy that can get help. Number 3, stay in your zone. Don't swim in dangerous rip currents or areas that surpass your swimming abilities. And last, check weather warnings and water conditions before you head out. Well, today is opening day for Spokane County pools. Chris was talking about those swimming lessons, and spots to reserve your pool time are expected to fill up fast. So before you go splashing into summer, you're going to need to plan ahead. Starting today at 11 a.m., both the North Side and South Side Aquatic Centers opened up. Spokane County Parks, Recreation, and Golf recommends making those reservations, which you can do online, up to 14 days ahead of time. Both locations have multiple slides and lots of fun ways to cool down this summer.
We've got lots of enjoyable features like that have spray spouts and lemon drops that drop water over you, or giant mushrooms that pour water over you. Just a lot of splashing and noise and just excitement for the summer.
And if you do get hungry, make sure you bring some cash. Outside food and drinks won't be allowed, but concessions are available. The pools will be open until August 20th.
Well, a 10-foot-tall Halloween decoration is causing concern for some neighbors, but the owner of the massive werewolf says he makes her feel safe. That's next on Nightside.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. Wildfires can strike at any time. 4 News Now Fire Watch coverage keeps you safe on TV and on the go to protect your family.
Be on alert, there are flames.
That's what we mean when we say expect more.
Hit the ground running in the most adventurous Honda vehicles yet. Like the Pilot and Passport Trail Sport, or the Ridgeline, made more rugged with better off-road performance, and more capable with different driving modes available to conquer snow, mud, and sand. Adventure on in the Honda for you. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Let's wave the flag together. Hello, I'm Mark Peterson with 4 News Now, presenting the Great American Flag Swap. Bring your old tattered flag to any BECU Spokane location on Friday, June 23rd. In exchange, you'll receive a new American-made flag from Uncle Sam's Flag and Gift.
BECU is proud to be part of the Great American Flag Swap. We're honored to live in a community that supports veterans and military families who sacrifice for the benefit of us all. Visit us in Spokane and see what banking is like when people come first. BECU, not for profit, equals more for people.
Spokane's hottest music.
Man, I feel just like a rock star.
Hot 96.9.
Adventure, culture, and fine wine await you in the Lewis Clark Valley, less than 2 hours south of Spokane. Tour some of the world's most spectacular wilderness, beauty, and wildlife in Hell's Canyon. Experience the region's rich and diverse culture and history. Savor award-winning Lewis Clark Valley wines and delicious culinary creations from a variety of local wineries and fine dining establishments. Go to visitlewisclarkvalley.com and plan your destination getaway today.
Take a day off, skip Mondays, and be water-wise this summer.
Our high temperature today, just 64 degrees, 74. Our average high, we started the day off at a chilly 41, closed up the windows and wished I had that warmer blanket still on the bed. We'll be even cooler for a high tomorrow, 60, but that is not going to last. We're up to 68 and then above average by Thursday. This white line right here is average, heading into the 80s for the weekend and into the mid to upper 80s by the beginning of next week. That trend looks like it will continue. Our 8 to 14 day forecast, June 27th through July 3rd, calling for above average precipitation. This from the Climate Prediction Center. This is what I'm skeptical of because we've been being promised above average precipitation now for a few weeks and have yet to see that materialize. There are some localized areas that have gotten a whole lot of precipitation in a short period of time, but overall we are not flush with precipitation. Beautiful pick of the night tonight. I'm getting a lot of photos of canola fields, and this one just made me laugh with the stop sign buried in the canola. James Richmond, our good friend, sent this from his bike riding adventures on the Pium Prairie. Stop and smell the canola. I'm learning a lot about this crop, by the way. It has been a big boon to our local farmers. So enjoy the pretty bright yellow fields. They are peaking right now, the spring canola, that is. Aaron?
Beautiful picture. Thank you, Chris. And thanks to one of the tightest labor markets in decades, teens have an array of jobs to choose from at ever higher wages this summer. And partially because workers are choosing a better work-life balance. The average number of hours worked per week dropped to 34.3 last month. That could leave more work for teenagers this summer.
Teens are relatively low paid compared to other workers in the labor force. That's going to be an advantage for employers to hire teens.
From lifeguards and camp workers to retail and restaurant jobs, teen hiring overall is up this year, and so is the pay, with a 9% increase from last summer.
It looks like some pandemic-era habits are sticking around. The Wall Street Journal reports that online food orders are still high, but more people are opting for pickup instead of delivery to save some money. Also, the number of video calls is still growing, despite more people returning to the office.
The daily aspirin may lead to anemia in older adults. In a newly published study, researchers followed more than 18,000 adults who were 65 and older. Half took a low dose of aspirin a day, while the other half took a placebo. Adults who took aspirin were 20% more likely to be anemic than those who didn't take it. In recent years, experts have backed away from blanket use of aspirin therapy for all older adults after studies showed that it carried an increased risk of major bleeding. 4 News Now will be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Festival at Sandpoint.
He's only 19 years old, 7 foot 3 inches tall, and some say he's about to take over professional basketball. Now Wednesday, Robin Roberts with Victor Wembanyama on
Good Morning America.
The award-winning Spokane Valley Summer Theater presents its 2023 sizzling summer season, the original high school musical Grease, June 16 through July 2nd. The regional premiere of Steve Martin's musical Bright Star, an American folktale inspired by a true story, July 14 through 23rd. And the regional premiere of Jimmy Buffett's Escape to Margaritaville, August 4th through 20th. Single and season tickets available now at sbsummertheater.com or call 509-368-7897.
I had a lot of bad days with gout, but that one took the wedding cake. Even with medicine, my uric acid was still too high to stop painful gout buildup. Then a gout specialist told me about Cristexa.
Cristexa is a prescription medicine for adults with gout whose symptoms are not controlled by other gout medicines.
I learned Cristexa quickly starts working to break down gout buildup.
Cristexa is an infused medicine. Serious life-threatening allergic reactions can occur while taking Cristexa. Tell your doctor right away if you have symptoms such as shortness of breath, trouble breathing, dizziness, itching, or swelling of the throat or tongue. Cristexa is not recommended if you have high levels of uric acid without a history of gout. Do not take Cristexa if you have a rare disorder called G6PD deficiency or favism. Before receiving Cristexa, tell your doctor if you have a history of heart problems and all the medicines you take. Cristexa may cause gout flare-ups, allergic reactions, nausea, bruising, sore throat, constipation, chest pain, and vomiting.
I received Cristexa for about 6 months. Now I'm in control, not gout.
Find a doctor who specializes in gout at goutdocnow.com.
We are just a few days away from the 2023 NBA draft as 58 players are about to have their lives changed forever. And there's a good chance you'll be hearing some names called on Thursday night that are guys that played right here in the Inland Northwest. The first name is most likely going to be Gonzaga star Julian Strawther. The 6'7" guard has the build necessary to eventually become a starter in the league, and his ability to shoot from beyond the arc definitely helps him in today's NBA. He could be a late first rounder, early second rounder, depending on how things fall. Of course, we can't forget about Drew Timme and all that he accomplished during his time at Gonzaga. However, size matters in this league, and quite frankly, it's going to be difficult for him to carve out a role under the basket, as he's maybe 6'10" on a good day. Now you're going to compare that to the first pick of the draft, Victor Wembanyama, who's 19 and closer to 7'4". Expect Timme to go late in the second round or even undrafted. And finally, there's guard Malachi Smith, who's played a big role off the bench this past season season for the Zags, and while he had a solid college career, it's an entirely different beast to stand out as a point guard at the pro level. Not to say he can't make it, but there's plenty of workouts he's gone through in the lead up to the draft. Expect him to sign an undrafted free agent deal sometime on Thursday or Friday after the draft. And the Washington State Cougars had another underperforming season, but they do have a couple of prospects that'll be testing out the waters at the next level. That is led by forward Mohamed Gay. He's got the build that NBA scouts are looking for. Long, lengthy, and has room to fill out. Now he should hear his name called sometime in the second rounder. And of course, teammate Justin Powell, he made a bit of a surprise decision as he opted to stay in the draft, but the 6'6" junior spent only a season in Pullman and made the most of it. He shot better than 42% from three-point range and could eventually become a nice role player if he gets a chance, but I wouldn't expect to hear his name until maybe the later stages of the draft. And don't forget, KXLY ABC is your exclusive home for the NBA draft on Thursday night. We're going to have your pre and post show coverage right here on 4 News Now. And make sure to tune in all week in the lead up to the draft as Julian Minnesota and myself will have all kinds of fun segments coming up for you. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app. At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Your Broadway wish is granted at Disney's Aladdin. Audiences and critics agree Aladdin is fabulous and extravagant. With unforgettable music and sensational dance numbers, it's exactly what you wish for. Get your tickets today and see for yourself the breathtaking spectacle that only Disney can deliver.
June 27th through July 2nd at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Visit BroadwaySpokane.com.
When you carefully strap down your toys, or play it safe on moving day, or listen to that inner voice that says, this really needs a cover, you're doing your part to help everyone on Washington's roads get home safely. So, keep the supplies you need handy, secure your cargo properly, and ask others to do the same. Secure your load for safer roads. Learn the ropes at secureloadswa.org.
We're back. Get ready for a brand new season of Collector's Call. All new collections. All new collectors. Ah! You're kidding. All new fun. Join me, Lisa Welchel, for a new season of Collector's Call.
Sundays on MeTV, over the air on KXLY 4.2, Comcast 114, and Spectrum 9, 17, and 181. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
You're going to need a jacket, maybe a rain jacket, because the chances are you're going to at least get sprinkled on Tuesday, but a high of 60, 74 is average. We'll be in the 40s through 8 o'clock.
Goodness. All right, I have a shoot outside at 1.
Maybe.
Maybe.
And it's going to be breezy.
Oh, man. All right, we'll see what happens. New on Nightside, a nearly 10-foot tall Halloween decoration is causing concern for some neighbors.
It's a massive werewolf, and the owner really likes it. She said that she's received a notice to take it down, but she said that he makes her feel safe. Gwyneth Falhoun reports.
He's kind of become my house mascot.
This is Phil the werewolf. Its owner, Mary Simmons, says she bought the nearly 10-foot tall Halloween decoration last October, but chooses to leave it up year-round.
I kind of look at it as a security thing. Who wants to break into a house with a 9.5-foot werewolf sitting outside it? I mean, I know I wouldn't.
Simmons also says she just loves Halloween and dresses the werewolf for the season.
So we're going to get like a big Hawaiian shirt, maybe some big sunglasses or something.
I'm a big horror fan, so I didn't really mind it. I've watched him dress it up for different occasions and whatnot, and I think it's pretty cool.
The city tells me it gave out a warning but has no plans to further enforce the decoration's removal, and Simmons says she won't take it down unless it becomes a safety hazard.
I don't want somebody walking by and his head falls off and hits them. So, you know, I try to treat people like I want to be treated, and I wouldn't want that to happen to me. You know, people go for like fall and spring and winter. I go for Halloween.
Ohio, what can you say?
What would Gwenny think of that, your toddler?
I know, I thought of that with the reporter's name. She would probably think it was cool.
Oh, good.